Hello and welcome to day 4 of my Sunrise Sailing class to go. Now this is our final class to go, or final card of the class to go. If you want to earn the class to go, please make sure that you get your order in by May 15th. At least $50 in my online store will earn you the class to go for free. You'll get the supplies to make all the cards we've made. Now, it will not include any stamping, and if anything needs die cut with the dies or embossed with the embossing folder, you will need to do that yourself as well. So you will need the bundle to complete the cards that I've shared this week. But if you don't have the bundle, you can purchase it in my online store, or you can substitute something else for what you do have. So let's go over the cards that we've made this week. On Monday, we made this gorgeous card, really nautical colors. Love that one. We made this card on Tuesday, the beautiful sunrise in the background. Yesterday we made, or this one was Tuesday. Yesterday we made this one. Just those beautiful bright colors, some new in colors on there, that ombre look of the waves. Gorgeous. Now today, we have kind of an over-the-top card today. This is the card we're making today. It is stunning. I cannot get enough of this card. It's so beautiful. So we're going to go ahead and jump in and start making this card. So we're going to actually start with our ink blended background. Now this is one layer. It's all nice and flat. So you're going to receive a piece of white, and I believe this is 5 by 3 3/4. Now you'll also receive a piece of masking paper. This is our masking paper, and it is die cut. Well, it's cut to 5 by 3.5, so it's not going to cover your full card. And we're going to go over that in just a second. But this will already be die cut. This is just, it's like the weight of a Post-it note. It's sticky on one side, so it's going to help mask that hexagon shape. So we're going to start with the masking first. So you'll need to peel off the backing of the masking paper to expose the stickiness. Now, I recommend before you stick it to your cardstock, because sometimes this can get super sticky, sometimes tear your cardstock when we're pulling it up. So I would recommend just kind of pressing it against your clothes. I'm going to stick it against my shirt a few times. Just be real careful because you don't want to rip it. But you just want to take off some of that stick. You can even just kind of go around with your fingers a few times. You want it to be sticky, but not so sticky that it's going to rip your cardstock. So just take a few minutes, a few seconds, and just kind of get rid of a little bit of that stick. Now, I'm going to line up this edge with one of the edges over here. So now the reason that your piece is cut to 3.5 instead of 3 3/4 was because the masking paper comes in sheets of 5 by 7. And so if I cut it in half right at 3.5, then I can get 2 per sheet. And that will save me supplies. And then I'm not stuck with a bunch of extra. Now, if you are worried that you're going to ink blend along this edge right here, not to worry, just grab a couple of extra Post-it notes. I have a couple here, and we're just going to cover up that edge. Just like that. And then you don't have to worry about getting anything on that edge. So the only part of our white paper that we want exposed is just that hexagon in the middle. Okay? So I'm going to grab my scrap paper again. Remember, we did some blending on Monday. So I'm going to grab that same scrap paper again. We're going to do some more blending. So I'm going to make sure that everything is stuck down. We have our masking paper down nice and secure. I have a little bit of edge showing down at the bottom here, so I'm just going to grab another Post-it note and just kind of cover up the bottom as well, just because I don't want to accidentally get any ink. So we'll just cover that up, and this will actually hold down our paper too, to our scrap paper, so it works double duty. Let's start with the bottom. We're going to start with the blue, so I'm going to grab my blue blending brush. And this was last used on Azure Afternoon, and we're going to go into Balmy Blue. So I'm going to make sure that this is, that I get off some of that Azure Afternoon. Balmy Blue is a lighter color, and so we don't want it to be too dark. Okay. So I'm going to use my Balmy Blue, my blue blending brush. Now remember, with the blending brushes, you can always add ink, but you can't take it away. So start off a little lighter, and you can always add more ink. Now, I want to go up to about, I'm going to start at the bottom and go up to about where the point is for this little intersection of the hexagon here. I know that's covered up by the boat, but I'm kind of eyeballing it. But that's kind of where I want my water to end. And I just kind of eyeball it. Now, again, the colors are going to kind of overlap, so it's okay if If things don't look perfect, we can always go in and adjust things later. If things go kind of above where you thought they were going to go, that's okay. We can adjust it later. It's okay. So I'm going to make it a little more intense just right down here at the bottom. And just kind of go up a little bit so we kind of have a nice straight line here. Perfect. Now again, if we have to come back to our balmy blue, we will. It's okay. We can always add color. All right, I'm going to grab my yellow. We're going to do some Lemon Lolly this time. And again, I'm just going to try to get off any excess daffodil light that was on there. Lemon Lolly is a much lighter color. And now again, we're going to go against the blue with the yellow. I don't want to go too much against the blue with the yellow because, again, we'll make green. So, and I'm just going to go, almost halfway up the side here. I'm using my hexagon as guides here, so I'm going to go almost halfway up the side with my Lemon Lolly. I'm not overlapping my blue too much. You're going to see we're going to overlap our colors a little bit more as we start going up, but definitely with the blue, I don't want to overlap too much because I don't want that green. So I'm coming back in with my blue now. I didn't re-ink it. There's still some ink on there, so I'm just kind of smoothing that blue out. And with my Lemon Lolly. Okay. Lovely. Okay, we're going to close that one up. I'm going to run out of room to put all my brushes. All right. Next up is Petal Pink. This is kind of like a peachy color. So I am going to grab my orange. We're going to be using Calypso Coral, which I used my orange brush for. So let me just make sure that we didn't have like pumpkin pie or anything on it before. I think we're good. But I'm going to use my Petal Pink. Petal Pink, I mean, it's kind of like a peachy pink. So if you want to use your pink blending brush, you can. If you want to use a completely different one, you can. I'm going to tap that off. Now I'm going to overlap my yellow a little bit, and then I'm going to kind of go up to the point on the left here of the hexagon. But I'm going to really kind of overlap that yellow, and that's going to give us a nice orange color. But I don't want to take away the yellow completely. I want to make sure we leave a little bit of yellow. But I just want to overlap it a little bit and really get those colors blending together. Okay, I think that looks great. And then our final color is going to be Calypso Coral. And I'm going to use the same blending brush. Oops, I'm going to stamp on that in just a second. I'm going to use the same blending brush, so I don't have to worry about grabbing another one. And this one we're just going to finish out the top. So I'm going to use Calypso Coral and really kind of work that color into the top. Okay. Lovely. Beautiful. My masking paper's trying to lift up right there, so I'm trying to make sure it doesn't lift up. But I'm going to bring in my yellow and just kind of smooth that out just a little bit. Beautiful. Love it. Now I know this looks like a hot mess right now. We've got the Post-it notes, we've got the masking paper, but this is where the magic is going to come. I'm going to move my ink pads out of the way, move my brushes out of the way, and I'm going to peel off my Post-it notes. And then we're going to peel off our masking paper. Let me move my Post-it notes. So you just want to be really careful when peeling off the masking paper. Just kind of grab a corner of it. And I like to really like pull it backwards on itself. Let me move this out of the way. Pull it back on itself and it should just kind of pull right up. If it starts to tear, that's okay. Just find another corner and just lift it up. And you can see there's a beautiful hexagon image that we are going to be left with. It's just going to be that beautiful hexagon sunrise piece, which is just stunning. You can see my paper lifted just a little bit there, so I have a little mess there, but that's okay. You can cover that with an embellishment. You can cover that with a bird. It's okay. I'm not too worried about that. You can see this is really sticky, so the more you can get a lot of that initial stick off on your clothes, your pants, your shirt, whatever, the better success you'll have peeling it off. But isn't that stunning just by itself? It's so beautiful, don't you think? Okay, so we're going to do some stamping directly onto this piece now. So I'm going to grab I have a little piece for our greeting. We're going to stamp on that in just a minute. But I'm going to grab my early espresso. This is going to be for our boat. And we're going to stamp this on a scrap piece of paper. Don't stamp this one directly onto this paper that we just colored. We're going to stamp this onto the other piece of white that's in your envelope for this kit. I'm going to stamp that down, give it a second. Beautiful. This is the first time we've used this this boat in this class to go, but it is a stunning image. We're going to come back to our espresso, so I'm not going to put that away just yet. I'm going to kind of put that aside just to kind of dry for a couple minutes. And I'm going to stamp, actually we need the boat. I'm going to stamp the little sails in Calypso Coral. So you have like this the little flags image. I'm going to hold it down just so I can kind of line it up. It's going to go down just like that. Beautiful. We're going to do some coloring on that in just a minute as well. All right, for our little greeting piece, I'm going to do the You Deserve the Best. And I'm going to stamp this all the way on the bottom, as far down as I can go. You deserve the best. Now that's going to give us a little bit of room for our congratulations. So that's it with the Calypso Coral. We're going to pull out the Petal Pink again, and we will stamp the congratulations just right above the You Deserve the Best. And let's see if I can get my head in there. A little challenging with the camera. Perfect. I think that looks good. Okay. All right. All right, we're going to bring back that early espresso one more time. And I have this little piece. Let me grab that scratch paper. This is like the piece that fills in the boat. So I'm going to stamp that off. I just want a lighter shade of that early espresso. And then we'll just fill in the boat. Just like that. Beautiful. And we are going to bring in this piece now, our ink blended piece. We're going to add some birds. So if you want to kind of mask your little mistake, if you have one, you can use a bird so now nobody will ever know. We're going to have a few more flying. Just like that. You can add more if you want. You can add as many or as few as you want. All right, that's it with our early espresso. And our final stamping, we're going to bring in our balmy blue. And we are going to stamp the kind of the water all the way across. So kind of right where the blue on the ink blending starts and stops, that's where you want to add your the stamped image. Okay, so that's all of our stamping. Let's bring back our boat because we do have one more thing to do to our boat. I want to color the rest of the boat with some Petal Pink Stampin' Blends. I'm actually going to start with the dark. I just want to fill in these sails just to make sure that they look, you know, intentionally colored. So I'm going to do the dark, and I'm going to do that all along the left side of each of these sails. I'm using my brush tip just because it's going to cover the biggest area quickest, but it's a little bit frayed, so I'm being a little bit careful. Now you can go right over that Calypso Coral because the Calypso Coral and the Early Espresso are water-based inks, so they're going to work great with our Stampin' Blends. All right, so the dark just along the right side, and then, oops, let me pull up the other. I want to use my brush tip just to get this filled in. And then we're just going to use the light. We can blend out that dark, and we're just going to finish coloring in the sails, just like that. Beautiful. All right, so that's it with our blends. Petal Pink. Now you could also use Calypso Coral blends as well. That'll work too. Okay, let's grab our die. Now we need to die cut this. So I'm gonna grab one of those Post-it notes wherever they went. Here we are. And I'm gonna use this to hold down my die. So just line it up. Now, if you want to stick this in the embossing folder as well and emboss it as well, you absolutely could do that. I'm just going to die cut it today for just doing the die cutting, but you could stick it into the embossing folder. You just have to maneuver it around so that it all lines up, but you could do it both ways. Okay, so plate 1, plate 2, plate 3, our card stock with the die, and we'll run this through. All right. And get our machine out of the way and all our plates out of the way. Okay. All right, now is time to assemble. And this part is the easiest part because we've already done all the hard work. So there's our beautiful boat. We have our greeting stamped already. So let's go ahead and stick some dimensionals on the back of our boat. Pull the backings off of that. And I'm going to do a couple little half dimensionals down on the boat bottom here, just to make sure that everything is secured. We'll do another little edge piece right here. Okay, perfect. All right, let's put this onto our card. Now, obviously we want the boat right on that water surface, and I'm going to put it off to the left, just like that. Now we're going to add some dimensionals. I'm going to put one on the very far left, and then just a couple more closer to the right, because it's going to go over our boat. So I'm going to put it up here. Just line it up nice and straight. Is it straight? I think it's straight. There we go. All right, we're ready to start adhering this down to our card. So we have our white piece. This is going to go right onto a piece of Petal Pink. I love the colors on this card. I think that's what I love the most. I think that this card the colors just make me so happy. All right, and this one goes onto a Calypso Coral card base. It is just so stunning, isn't it? Beautiful. So we're going to really glam it up with some more of those foil gems. So I'm going to add just a few right around the greeting here, and then we'll put one down here by the boat. So beautiful. And that is today's card. That is day 4. So I hope you love this card. So let's go back to all the cards we've made this week. Remember, if you want to get this class to go kit for free, all you need to do is place a minimum order of $50 in my online store by May 15th, and you will get this class to go for free. I will be back in a couple of weeks with my next class to go. You'll start earning that one on May 16th. May 16th through May 31st, you can earn the next one. But if you want this Sunrise Sailing Bundle class to go for free, make sure that you place your order by May 15th. You can get the Sunrise Sailing Bundle now in my online store. It is part of the online exclusive launch from May 6th. And remember, you get the stamp set, the dies, and the embossing folder as all part of the bundle. So don't miss out on this one. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. All the details for the class to go are in the video description, as well as a link to my blog where you will find details on all of these cards. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you never miss a video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Bye.